Hi, hello, welcome to this video on Unit 1, Lesson 5, doing some angle constructions. Now, you're not going to be able to see my compass. I'm going to be doing more of sketching for the compass aspect of this because my circle tool doesn't do exactly what I want it to do either. This wasn't written for constructions. But I do have videos to actual construction YouTube videos of these linked to both of these. So make sure you take advantage of that if you need to. So we're going to learn how, just like we did with a segment, to copy and bisect a segment, we're also going to do copy and bisect an angle. I'm going to do the bisect construction first so that, because it's easier. So that's why. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is learn to bisect an angle. So to bisect an angle, the first thing you do is you make an arc that crosses both sides of the angle. And whether it hits point P or point D or some point that was named on the angle, doesn't matter. Those points are unimportant because our goal by making an arc that crosses both sides of the angle is to get a point here and a point here that are equidistant from the vertex. So that is our goal. So I'm going to do that now with my pen. I'm going to sketch an arc, which is a portion of a circle that crosses both sides of the angle. And it crosses at 2 points here and here. So this is to name them R and S. So for purposes of this construction, I will. And then afterwards, it's almost like you're going to bisect the segment RS, although you don't have to draw it. We're going to do kind of part of that construction. So I made an arc. Now R to M and S to M are the same length. Then it says open the compass to greater than 1/2 of RS, so more than halfway of that. From R, make an arc through the interior of the angle. So I'm going to take my compass, and from here, I'm going to make an arc with my compass. And then from here, I'm going to make an arc with my compass. So from R, I'm going to make an arc in the interior of the angle. And then from S, with the same compass opening, I'm going to make an arc in the interior of the angle. So the arc from R is part of a circle with center R. The arc from S is part of a circle with center S. All we have to do now is draw the segment going through those intersections, or ray rather. And this is a bisector of angle PMD, the original angle we were given. And it says we're going to name it MT. So MT bisects. And you could divide an angle into fourths by doing it again, or into eighths, or whatever. So that's how you bisect an angle. An arc that crosses both sides of the angle, and then from each one, make an arc that intersects inside the angle, and your ray going through there is your angle bisector. Okay, the next construction we're going to do is copying an angle, which is only slightly more involved because you're making a whole new second angle. So we're going to start with a ray to copy our angle onto. I think I want to move it more down here. So this ray, which I'm going to call endpoint B for purposes of being able to follow these listed instructions, draw a ray to copy the angle onto with endpoint B. And then the first part of the construction is the same as up here, where you made an arc that crosses both sides of the angle. We're going to do that here as well, an arc that crosses both sides of this angle, so that that arc is basically part of a circle with M as the center. And we are finding 2 points. They asked us to call them V and T in the directions. So V's distance to the center or vertex of the angle is the same as T's distance because they were made with the same arc or the same compass opening. Now what we're going to do down here is we're going to make that same arc with that same compass opening. Whatever radius we used on our compass to make this arc, we're going to make another arc with the same radius down here. So with my compass, I opened it to the same radius and I should have kept it from closing the first time. Okay, I think I can probably draw that a little bit neater. I don't know how far it's going to need to go, so I'm going definitely further than what I need because I'm going to be doing an acute angle. All right, so this arc here and this arc here were both made with MV, that compass opening. Draw an arc of equal radius on the ray, and we're going to name that point A over here that it crosses at. So MV and BA are the same. Now what I need to do, since I have point A kind of right here that is corresponding to point V, I need to find out where point T is up here on this ray somewhere. So to do that, I'm going to open my compass to the measure of TV, like that's my compass opened up, and I'm going to use that length over here to mark an arc on my figure. So A is the center of a circle, just like over here, V was the center of the circle going around there. So A is the center of the same circle. And wherever that goes through, that's where my ray is going to go to make those angles congruent. So this is going to be point H. So angle ABH is now congruent to angle VMT over here. So I can mark them congruent. And that is how you copy an angle. All right, so we are now done with this lesson on the two basic angle constructions. Every construction we do for the rest of the year will be comprised of the four basic constructions, and we'll build on them to get other constructions. Join us for the next lesson when we will talk about angles with parallel and perpendicular lines.